Hey guys, Dave from Timber Time Outdoors. Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we are going to talk tank bags. As you can see here, we are standing next to the Triumph Tiger 900 Rally Pro. And we're going to talk about this tank bag made by SW-Motech, which is made specifically for the Tiger. And so let's get into the details now. All right, so in this video, we're going to do three things. That's kind of my deal these days, is to do three things about a product. So number one, we're going to talk about, what is this thing? What are some of its features? So that'll be the first part of the video. The second part of the video will just be some installation tips. This isn't really a how to install type of video. There's plenty of that out there, and it's actually pretty darn simple to install. So I'm not sure you even really need that. But we'll talk about some of the things I encountered with that installation. And then lastly, I want to get into what I really like about this thing, and actually there's a few things that I don't like about it. And then I guess we could talk about a recommendation. But yeah, let's go. All right, so what is this thing? This is a tank bag, and it's made by SW-Motech. They make all kinds of motorcycle products, very high quality in terms of, what you get out of the box. This particular one is an 11 liter that expands to 14 liters. So you've got a little zipper, I guess it's right here, that will expand this pocket upward. You can kind of see that there. So it'll get even taller and you can fit more junk in here. I came from the Harley Davidson world, and I had a Road Glide special, and that thing had all kinds of storage. And so when I switched motorcycles to this one, and I loved how light it is, but guess what? There is no storage at all. So I had to come up with some storage solutions, and number one was to get a tank bag. And that has taken some getting used to, which I'll talk about in just a second. But feature number one is the size of it. If you call SW-Motech and you tell them you have the Tiger 900, they will tell you this is the only bag that fits. That's what they'll tell you. There are some bags that are bigger, and there are some bags that are smaller. They're not specifically made for this motorcycle, but I've seen people on other YouTube videos that have made that work. Really what makes this one special for the Tiger is its shape. So it basically hugs the tank and kind of curves around. You don't have any weird like cantilevering out over the tank or sticking into your belly or just, some kind of wonky fit. This one does fit on the Tiger really well. We'll get into one of the fitment things that I don't like at the end of the video, so stay tuned for that. But for the most part, this is the Pro City bag. It is specifically designed for this motorcycle. And as you can see, it just fits the profile perfectly. So I really like that. In terms of, like what the materials are, first thing I'll say is that this isn't completely waterproof. They do give you a little rain hairnet, so to speak, or a little bootie that goes over top of it. So, if you get into some heavy rain, you're going to be riding for a long time in the rain, this might not be the bag for you. They do make a waterproof version. I didn't want that rubber. I kind of like this material. I like the added colors, some of the accents here. But great bag. It's got the MOLLE things if you want to attach something on top. I know they make some accessories for it. So, they make a phone holder and that kind of thing that you can attach to the top. I don't have that. I love these side pockets because they are specifically designed for sunglasses. So I think I have some sunglasses on this side. So these are my nighttime driving glasses. So they fit in here, and I also have some shades on the other side. So 2 sunglass pockets, which I really like because you can never have enough sunglasses. I actually keep 3 pairs. I have a yellow pair for dawn and dusk. I think it really kind of enhances. I get old eyes though, but so anyway, I love that. So when you get into the main compartment here, there's all kinds of room. We've got a lid pocket where you can zip this open and put some papers or that kind of thing in here. I happen to have my garage door opener in there and my insurance. So that's the top pocket. And then just all kinds of stuff. I mean, I keep my gloves in here. I've got, you know, a nice rag for cleaning the windshield off, or my glasses, snacks. What is this? This looks like sunscreen. And we've got some bug goo here to get bugs off. Just all kinds of stuff. I've got some ibuprofen, water, you name it. Great. It's also got an inside pocket, a couple of nets that, you know, can kind of organize things. So that's really, you know, as far as holding the thing, holding its contents, that's really the features of it. The materials are high quality. It's very rigid, so it's going to keep its shape. That I really like about it. Here is the feature that I like the most. It's kind of hard to do. So you've got a red strap here, and you pull on this. Probably seen this in some other videos. You pull on this. You can see I'm kind of struggling with it. There we go. So you pull on it. Once you get some leverage on it, it releases and comes right off. So if you got to, you know, fill up your tank with gas, which you will have to do, obviously, you know, it goes on and off pretty easy. It goes on incredibly easy. It just snaps on with magnets, basically, and now it's on there. And then to release it, again, this is part of that fitment thing that I don't love, but you don't have to do this that often, so I just get used to it. So you hear that click, it comes right off. Okay, so that is the tank bag, and basically, you know, the features of it. Let's get into the installation next. All right, installation is really straightforward. You've got a tank ring that you've got to buy separately. You buy that, and it basically just goes into some of the, you know, drill and tapped holes that hold your essentially your nozzle for your tank here. You take out a couple screws. They give you other screws. You put those in, and your ring is there. It's pretty low profile. If you're going to ride without the tank, you know, it's not a big deal. I really do like the way they attach these compared to some of the other ones with straps and stuff. I think they've got the best attachment method out there. So once you get this attached, super simple. Then the other piece of the installation is you've got to get this, I don't know what you call it, the holding plate here. This is basically the thing that clicks on here, and you know, you've got your release mechanism. You've got to get this attached. There's a few screws. You've got to thread this loop and get that in place. Not difficult at all. You do have some adjustment. Okay, so if you adjust it forward, then it hugs the tank really well. And that, to me, looks like what it's meant for. You can adjust it this way, and then it kind of cantilevers over. I don't know. I don't think it looks as good. But that frees up a little room to work your key a little easier. So when you got it forward, it's a little bit hard to get at the key. When you got it back, and then it just looks a little wonky. So that's installation. There's videos on it. It did not take very long, half-hour max. So don't worry about the install, super simple. All right, so let's get into likes and dislikes, which I've kind of touched on a few of them already, but let's dive into those next. All right, here's what I like about it. It solved my storage needs for the most part. You can never have enough storage, right? So I probably will do some sort of a rear box of some kind. I'm not going to get the panniers on the sides. I don't want that big wide motorcycle. I got rid of that with my Harley, so I want to keep it kind of narrow and nimble. But it basically solves my storage needs. It is fantastic. It is the perfect size in my opinion. It's not too big. It's not too small. I really think this is the right size for this particular motorcycle. So 11 liters. I hardly ever expand it, by the way. So 10, 11 liters is about the right size. So I love that. I mentioned this already. I love the build quality. I think it's excellent materials. I like how rigid it is. It's very well made. I know it's quite expensive, which I guess you could put in the dislike column because I don't like to spend money, but you know, you get what you pay for these days. So I wanted something that was going to work, and so you got to get out your wallet. I do love the build quality. I think that's great. I talked about this already with the attachment method. You just pull on this cord, and you have to pull very firm. Just give it a quick, you know, jerk, and it comes right off. Super quick. You can get at your fuel tank That I really like, and of course it goes back on very easily. As long as you get it lined up right. There we go. It just kind of finds its way in center. So that's what I like about the bag. My dislikes are, you know, I had to get used to a tank bag. So, you know, when you get up on this motorcycle and you're sitting on it, I'm used to having, you know, kind of an open area, right? My Harley Davidson kind of is open to the world. This motorcycle's not like that. You got this tank bag kind of sitting right here, and that takes a little getting used to, and it gives you kind of a weird sense of, I'll just say top heaviness. You know, it's not top heavy, but you get this, I don't know, it took some getting used to having a tank bag. So it's really not a dislike about this particular tank bag. I guess you could make an argument that the size of it is what gives you that sensation, but just know if you've never used a tank bag, it's gonna feel a little weird, and you're gonna want to have a tendency to go with a small one because of that, but I think that's a mistake. I think you'll like the size of it and you'll get used to it. So hopefully that helps you. The other dislike is pulling on this cord. You know, you saw me struggle with it. You know, you don't do it very often, so every time you got to kind of figure it out. But when you do it, if you grab a hold of it and you give it a quick, you got to get some leverage on it, and you give it a quick jerk, then it works pretty well. But if you kind of like finesse it, it just doesn't work as well. So some technique involved to that, and then of course getting it on. So, okay, and then the last dislike is, again, the positioning of this thing. I love it and I hate it. Well, I don't hate it, but it's annoying. So having it forward matches the tank. I really like that piece. But having it forward, I talked about the cord, but it also makes it hard to turn the key. So in order to turn this motorcycle on, and I got kind of small hands and I still kind of struggle with this, getting that key turned. Hopefully you could hear that there. So, you know, it's doable, but you're not going to just quickly reach under there and grab the key. You got to kind of get your hand in there, turn it, motorcycle's ready to go. So it's one of those things where, you know, if the bag was smaller, that would be easier, but then the bag would be smaller and you'd be upset because you can't fit stuff in it. So I live with a few of these dislikes. So hopefully that makes sense to you guys. All right, let's wrap this video up. I do recommend this bag. I think it is the perfect size for this motorcycle. Talked about the trade-offs. You be the judge. All right, let's wrap this video up before it gets too long. Thanks for watching, guys. I do recommend this bag. I think it has some trade-offs, but ultimately it's the perfect bag for the Tiger 900. So close this out here. Like, subscribe, send it to your friends, and remember, everybody, keep it in the timber. Bye-bye.